my name is Keith Barrett, founder and president of Vesta Settlements. Today we're going to discuss the new home inspection contingency addendum that will be released on July 1st of 2017, so we're just over a week out, and this video is going to address the new provision in that document. Now, most of you should already be familiar with how the home inspection contingency works. If you're not, we have a video on that. Click the link below and you can go ahead and watch that video before we move on here. Now, the regular home inspection has not been changed. It's going to work the same way that we've all been familiar with. The new revised form, however, has a new provision number 2 in the home inspection contingency addendum. And what that provision does is it still gives the buyer a contingency, but it's what I call an all or nothing contingency, meaning the buyer still has the right to void if they don't like what they see, but there isn't an opportunity to request repairs like in the traditional home inspection contingency. So it's going to work the same way. The paragraph 2 is going to set up an inspection period where the buyer will have a certain amount of time to do their home inspection, and then the buyer will be given an opportunity within that time to provide the seller an entire copy of the home inspection report, and if they don't like what they see in their sole discretion, a notice voiding the contract. If the buyer doesn't take the opportunity to do that, then the buyer is essentially saying that they're going to take that property as is. Now, why was this new paragraph added to the home inspection contingency? And for that, we need to understand what some of the custom and practice has been in terms of contracts as it relates to this issue. In the past, we have seen some troubling language get put into contracts. Specifically, we have seen parties write into the contract, home inspection for informational purposes only. And what exactly does that mean? A literal interpretation of that language would suggest that the buyer does not have a contingency, that they are simply looking over the property with a home inspector only for their information. And that's problematic. The other thing that was being done is there was some confusion about how to revise the home inspection contingency addendum to kind of reconcile with that language that was being put in there. And it was just causing, I think, a lot of conflict, a lot of misunderstanding, and again, that very troubling language. With this new provision 2 in the home inspection contingency, we've removed the need for all of that. So typically where we're going to see this is on an as-is contract, where a seller is selling that property as is. Now the buyer has the opportunity, if they want, to select that second option on the home inspection. There's no need to write home inspection for informational purposes only. You simply need to select that second option, and with that second option, the buyer gets that all or nothing. Either I'm going to void this contract or I'm going to take it as is. Now, little practice tip, a little side note. Certainly, nothing is going to prevent a buyer and the agent from kind of leveraging using that second paragraph, which is supposed to be an all or nothing option, but the buyer may still ask for repairs within that contingency period and use the threat of a voiding contract to kind of leverage the seller to do some repairs. And that's fine. It's certainly going to come up. And really, the solution there is for the listing agent and the seller to acknowledge and be prepared for that. And particularly a seller who's selling that property as is simply can say no and put the buyer back in the same position they were, which is an all or nothing option, which is what the parties expected initially when that second option was selected. So that's going to be your new home inspection contingency addendum that will be released July 1. I wanted to go over that because I think it's one of the more substantive changes. And as always, if you have any additional questions, feel free to contact us. It's easy to do business with Vesta. Please send your contracts to contracts@vestasettlements.com. And please feel free to check out our other videos. Thank you.